Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Duo webinar. This is going to be quite short and sweet because we really want to show you, some of our projects that are going well. Often we talk about ones that we have challenges with and we make mistakes, which, we both have, I don't know how many negatives or how many challenges, how much money we've lost from flips going wrong or from buy-to-lets going wrong. So we really want to show you the positive aspect of it alongside the kind of realism. So we are going to present you one of our deals, our current deals actually. Mine's in legals. James is actually the one you're going to see when you hopefully join us on the course. And then we're going to talk to you a little bit about the course. So James, shall I kick off with my deal?
Yeah, sure. Go for it.
So this is my latest project. So I put the figures up there for you so you can kind of get a glimpse into the numbers. Now, people say, oh, you need a lot of money to get started in property. The fact is that, I have not put in 141,000. I've not put in 9,000. I've not put in 34,000. So the first thing is you can and should use investor finance when you know what you're doing. But secondly, even if I did put in my own money, really, I needed 25 to 30% of that £141,000. I think a lot of people who speak to both of us for mentoring and for other things kind of come to us with that sort of amount in mind. Now, this place is about, I want to say, just under an hour from London on the train, and about an hour and a half, hour and 40 when you're driving. So I'd still call it the South. And if you're in the North, you might even just call it London as well. So, deals like this are possible. They are in the public domain. This was an auction. This was on the market. Then it was in auction. Then it was in auction again. And then it was in auction again. And I purchased it. And yet I'm still making that much profit on it. So you don't have to have this, off the market, agent knows me, we're boys, and but you don't have to have that kind of stuff. And that's what we're going to show you, on this course when we get to it later, is that actually there's a lot of things hiding in plain sight that you can spot with the right knowledge. This one had 3 or 4 legal issues, and James came over and visited, and I took him through these issues. And actually, when I said to him how we resolved it, it made sense instantly. And it's the kind of deal that anyone can do with the right knowledge, right? And I just happen to have this knowledge because of what I've done to prepare for deals like this. And the refurbishment, you know what? It could have been a lot more, especially in this market with material prices. But there are ways around that. There are ways to manage your refurb. And of course, you're going to see and follow James manage his refurb. That meant that I could do it for such a decent price. I've got a top-end kitchen in, I've got a top-end bathroom. Everything is pretty much, the higher end, even the carpets, everything I've done, even the skirting boards are the more expensive ones, right? Because I want to achieve this crazy sale price. Now, this in my spreadsheet, by the way, this was listed at 240K as an end value. So the profit has doubled, and something really interesting is it says plus £5,000. What's that about? Well, that's actually about the next door neighbor. When I purchased this house, because of these legal issues, I knew that I didn't know I'd get this money. I didn't know this was going to happen, but I knew that there is a potential here to make more money than just a property because I knew what I was doing and I knew legally how to solve this. So this is the current deal I'm working on. And as you can see, the profit is, it's about 46% ROI, I think, all in. On market multiple times in auction, £141,000 purchase price. This is achievable for a lot of people. And even if it isn't, say you want a purchase price of 90 grand, this sort of profit could be achievable with the right sort of things. And of course, a lot of hard work. So this is just the interior, just to kind of highlight to you the finish that is possible on that kind of budget, yet it still manages to get a super high end value. And when you see James, when you follow his property along and you see his finish, because this is London, so it's kind of different price level here, you'll see how you can do this on a budget. So James, I'm going to hand over to you.
Before I go into this, I just wanted to say one thing on your one there. You didn't mention something which I think is quite important, really, how you went about locating that area, because anybody looking at that area in an auction catalog might just have skipped it. They might have looked at, where is this place, and just skipped it past. So I think that's probably something you go into the course a little bit more, don't you, when we do the flip course? But I think that's quite an important area to look at, because looking at that in an auction book, you probably would have thought, what is this? I'm just going to pass it. But when you actually go and see it, it's actually a really beautiful property. It's located in such a nice area, because I actually physically went down there, so I saw the whole build going through. So I think that's an important point to hit onto.
Definitely, and like you said, we're going to cover that in the course because people did look past it for many reasons, and that's one of them. And again, if I show 10 people this property, James, they would probably 9 of them would skip past it without even thinking. So yeah, definitely a really good point. We'll cover in detail for sure.
Well, so yeah, getting on to York Road. So this is the project that we are using as an example in the London Flip course. Now, both me and Tej bought these properties off of an auctioneer. I'm not going to mention their names because we think they're probably a little bit sharkish, so to say, with certain clauses that appear in the contract. But anyway, so this house was purchased in East London. It's in a borough called Chingford. It's quite a sought after area now. If I'm honest with you, when I purchased this, I'd probably say I paid about £20,000 more for it. But I thought to myself, because I'd done my agent research, and the agent had said to me, "Look, there's a lot of kind of houses that are going to bidding wars in the area. People are wanting to move there." And his words were, "James, during this time of the year, I should have 80 houses on my books." He goes, "I've got 8 and I've got 50 families looking." So when he dropped those statistics to me, I thought, you know what? It's worth paying a little bit extra. So this was purchased for £418,000 at auction. There was a lot of people after this. I think there was 27 bids in total, and it did go for some top money. The additional cost associated to this property were £32,000. Again, on the flip course, we will break this down and go through every single cost that was associated to it. My refurb cost at the moment is sitting at £55,000. That may increase ever so slightly, or it may go down. Certain things may have to get cut off the list due to some planning regulations. And the end value, I'm sticking at 570, which is what the agent is saying to me. Something like this they would list for, but there is a potential it could go for way more. Now, looking down the road where this house is, certain auction properties have come up with the same auctioneers a couple of months after, and they've been way more than £418,000. So that's instilling some confidence into me. Works has started on this project. Obviously, can't halt it up, but we've kept a nice video log of everything, and you're going to get to see how we transformed this house that hasn't literally been touched inside since the day the person bought it. The electrician was shocked when he saw the electrics. It's like, damn, James, this is way before my time. I've never seen anything like this. I've never trained on anything like this. So that just goes to show you how old the house is. Tej? Oh, on to the next slide. So obviously, like Tej, I don't have any nice finished photos at the moment because we're not at that stage. But something I do have is some nice visuals. We're going to talk about the importance of CGIs and visuals if you're trying to sell a property before it's even completed. This shows you the new extension, the kitchen, the kind of styling that I'm hoping to go for in this house. As you can see, the marble, the gold tap, very, very similar to what you just saw on Tej's slide. Very in thing at the moment. So I want to put the in thing in so that when somebody sees it, it's very, very appealing. And it also shows the new proposed extension. Plan with this is to get these images and some actual 3D visuals that are being created at the moment of the complete finished house over to the agent so we can try and get it sold before it's even finished.
Amazing. And I think, this is a beautiful design, and a lot of people struggle with interior design. And again, that's something else we're going to cover because, X person having good interior design, Y person having excellent interior design, person Y is going to sell it for more. On a buy to let, we're not overly fussed, but in a flip, you and I are walking in as buyers emotionally. I see a gold tap. I'm thinking, okay, what's the price? I'm paying more for it. And I've experienced that. And James, the chances are you're going to experience that as well. And that is what you want. You don't want, yeah, it's nice, it look like every other new build.
Let's face it, when a house goes on the market, it's the lady of the house who's buying the house. She's making the final decision. And that's a proven fact in figures that I've seen before. So making the space look so inviting, like you fall in love with it, like setting it up, making sure the kitchen is on point, on trend, I think is hugely important, because if you can get it sold ASAP, that is happy days for you, because don't forget, there's a short process after selling this before you get the money. It's not as if it's going to drop to you straight away. It could be 3 months, 4 months, it could be 2 months. You just don't know, but you don't want to limit yourself, and you want to give yourself the best chance possible.
Absolutely. So you might be thinking, well, how? are we going to achieve, these levels of profit? You got 80K, you got 65K. I mean, how are we achieving them? And you know what? The simple answer is because we know how to, and that is a simple answer, but it encompasses a lot. But now let's talk about what we're going to cover on the flip weekend on the 6th and 7th of November, because, we we don't want to kind of sell you a false dream. We don't want to say, oh, it's easy, you just go in the auction catalog, flick it, pick one and you get a deal. No way. We both know that before we found these deals, there were hundreds of viewings, maybe hundreds of legal packs read, tens of conversations, tens of deals analyzed, and that's the reality of it. So that's how we did it. So here's what we're going to show you now. James, of course, your property. So we're going to show everyone the whole process from start, and like you said, being super old and untouched, to finish, looking like the beautiful kind of CGIs that you showed us. So people are going to see it physically on your 4 site visits, but also we've got 2 full days of knowledge and education. So as well as the physical aspect, learning by doing and touching and feeling and seeing, people are actually going to be learning, in those pure 2 days, everything you need to know. There is no upsell. There's nothing after this. This is it. You're going to do this and you're going to go off and you're going to do the same process. James, people have said, is this course suitable for beginners? And what do you say?
I think it's perfectly suitable for beginners. Do you know what? Looking at the information and the outline when we did the overview for the whole course, I so wish I knew this when I started, because I know 100% I would not have lost the 6 figures that I did. I would not have hired contractors the way I did. Now, the kind of systems that we've put in place, the processes that we've got between us, the both of us that we use, just worth their weight in gold. And I think anybody who's going into a flip or is going into a renovation project, I know this is an investment, but it's going to give you the whole blueprint of what we do. Think about it. We've both made the mistakes. Why the hell wouldn't you want to learn and save yourself that amount of money? Because when you get into a flip project, you can so easily, you're not going to lose hundreds, you're going to start losing thousands if you make the wrong mistakes. So I think it's perfectly suitable for beginners. I think any beginner who's about to embark on a flip or a renovation needs to do this.
Yeah, I think that's well said. Spending the 1.5 grand that it is, we both know for a fact, because of the mistakes we've made and how much it's cost us, and also how much we've made from doing things well, that 1,500, it's going to get you, if anything, 10x that. It's at the very minimum, you're going to double that in terms of what you're saving and what you're making. Because we both know factually there's certain things we do where we know how much it costs others to do, and we know how much a solicitor charges for XYZ, but how we do it, they charge this. So we know already the cost that we're going to save you on day one, let alone managing a refurb, which, if you follow both of our Instagrams, or any real property developer who shows what they're doing, it's incredibly difficult. And that leads to the next point, which is all of your questions are going to be answered. Bring a list, and I guarantee you we'll get through 80-85% of them, probably 90% of them anyway, right? As we're talking and as we're teaching. But bring your questions, bring what you need to, because on these site visits, this is for you to learn. This is for you to take in as much as you can. And of course, James, we're showing people how to make money, right?
Yeah, and that's that's the most important thing in all of this. Look, at the end of the day, it's not just the information that you're getting; it's the network that you're going to be exposed to. Like Tej was saying, he can almost guarantee that he will save you the £1,500 in the first day, and that's absolutely right. I know that the conveyancer that the both of us use is hugely cheaper than everybody else. When I hear people paying £2,000 for conveyancing, I know you're going to save that. You're going to save £1,500 on conveyancing alone. You're going to save X amount on legal packs being read for you, the solicitors that we use, contract lawyers, the way you write a contract, etc., etc. The value is just in the network alone. The value in the network alone is huge.
And that's a good point, actually, because we've been there, we've done it, in multiple places, actually, in terms of geography and different types. And you've done new builds, I've done SA, I've done, we've got such a mix between us. We know so many people and we know them well enough that you're going to get discounts via us. Frankly, you're going to get better service via us. It is what it is. You will, right? Recommendations and referrals are gold. So just think about the added benefits of that. Forget going to create a power team. Don't ask us how to create a power team. We'll tell you, but we'll just give you our team that we have used over, I mean, our conveyancer that you're mentioning, we've used 10, 12 plus between us, maybe more. You know, we've used them, we trust them.
I think when you've got your conveyancer on WhatsApp, that just shows the level of relationship you've got with someone where, you know, he read legal packs for me at 6 o'clock in the morning. There ain't no solicitor in the world that does that for you. And
Nope.
It wasn't one legal pack, it was 12 legal packs.
I mean, that's saying something. And, you know, getting texts at like Friday night or Saturday midday, it's like, no. And by the way, this firm is huge. I think it's one of the biggest in the UK. And this is the owner.
700 cases a month they do, 700 cases.
And
just weigh that up.
This is the relationship we have, right? That, you know, we're having these conversations, and he helps me with other stuff. You know, I've sent him other contracts. You know, there's a lot legally he kind of does for us. That relationship, when it comes via us, elevates your kind of standing with them. That is what it is, right? So let's kind of finish off with, you know, the kind of value, James, because a lot of people, how do I put this? A lot of people don't necessarily kind of see what they're getting on first glance. And I don't think they really equate the tangible value to what they're paying for, because we're investors, right? We're all looking at what's the ROI. You know, you're doing some training with Darren Hardy and you've done some other mentorship. You have looked at and said, okay, it's costing me X amount. What am I getting back? You know, is it a multiple of that in some shape or form? So, James, you know, it's £1,500, and as people can see on the screen, you were getting everything here. So, James, maybe start with the site visits, because I know it's your site, you're very close to it physically, and you know what's happening with it. You know, what is the kind of value for people, you know, coming on site with us 4 times?
Look, guys, the way you got to look at this isn't like any other course where you're stuck in a classroom or you're stuck in a room or a nice swanky hotel where somebody's making you run to the back of the room and upselling you. This is a real life experience, real life that we've gone through, real money that we've lost, real hardships that we've had, tradespeople drunk on a job, walking out halfway through a job, building a new build 1.2 meters higher than it needs to be and getting to the top and having to take the whole damn thing down. This is real life experience. So being able to reinforce that in a learning environment, going over the things that we're going to talk about, and then taking somebody on site and then showing them, say, look, this is a door frame. This is an architrave, or this is how we've knocked this wall out to create this extra, you know, 18 square meters of space, which adds on £56,000 to the value of this house. That's the level we're going to. We're going to talk about it in the mornings in the classroom, followed by a lovely swanky meal, and then take you out onto site in the afternoon and have a proper physical walk around. And the thing is, there will be tradespeople there. Physically, people are going to be on site because people are actually working at the house right now. So yeah, I mean, the value is immense. The last live training we did was a HMO training. We had people come down who own 10 to 12 HMOs say to us, damn, that's the most amount of value I've ever got, having a learning environment in a classroom. I say a classroom, but this place is quite swanky. Having a learning environment and then having that reinforced in the afternoon by physically showing you what's going on and then taking you through the whole damn process from start to finish. So you see how we buy, then you see how we sell, and everything in between that other people ain't going to show you.
Yeah, very well explained. You know, going on the site visits, someone says to you a lintel, what's that? We're going to show you it. Someone says, oh, you have to do, you know, steel calculations when you're opening up the wall for the extension. Well, what is that? What's a steel? How does it look? How heavy is it? Come pick it up. You know, like, you are going to see everything. You're also going to see issues, because there's going to be issues, right? This is going to be a smooth refurb. We've done enough. It's not going to be, you know, it's going to be smooth, but there's always going to be issues. There's always going to be challenges, and you're going to see this live, you know? So you'll be laughing or crying along with James, and I'll join you all in doing that as well, when you see what's happening here. So, you know, these site visits for us anyway are such a cool part of this. And like James said, the feedback, and again, I'll put a link in the notes for the testimonials from last time. People were blown away by the site visits. It's incredible. It's incredible, like in a single wall, how much there is to talk about. And then, you know, to top it off, you're getting merchandise. We're not going to tell you what that is, but, you know, James is wearing some kind of merch right now. So it's going to be some personalized merchandise, you know, spreadsheets, documents, guides, trackers, you know, analysis tools, data, Everything we
I
use.
just want to add one thing to that, Ted. Time and time again, I have people reach out to me and say, James, I'm doing my own build. I'm thinking of managing trades. This is something that people want to do all the time, is manage trades. Now, look, you can save a huge amount of money. I'll give you an example. I'm paying in excess of about £21,000 for an extension. Everybody else was quoting me anywhere from 38 to £50,000. So you can see by managing the trades, you can get it down. But there's a process to this. And I think that alone, teaching someone how to manage trades alone, you know, that is a whole session in itself. But that is something we're going to be talking about here within the London Flip course. So, you know, if you're one of those people that are constantly reaching out, asking questions, and we do, me and Tej both try to help as much as we can, come and spend a weekend with us, man. You're going to take all the knowledge out of us, you know, absorb it like a sponge. There, take it all in. We're giving you the stuff we use, and we're going to show you how to do it.
Absolutely. Managing trades without knowing what you're doing, you're asking for high blood pressure, heart problems, you know, you're asking for gray hairs, like real talk, like
Just
without
this
knowing what you're
morning,
doing.
just this morning, Ted, I saw a post on Instagram where a woman had posted the costs a builder had charged her. And then she posted another story saying, oh, I've been charged £600 because it needed an extra bit of plastering on this wall. I'm like, what the hell? You know, I'm thinking, damn, if you don't know this, this is what can happen. Polyfiller, £600, 1 hour. That's what a tradesman can do to you if you don't understand.
I want to be that tradesman. I'll tell you that, make a killing. And yeah, that happens all the time, and it continues to happen. And actually, on that note, we have two guest speakers coming along. You know, one is going to be really heavy on the project management. You know, and this person has managed a lot of refurbs, some really big ones as well. And they normally charge, I don't know what their rate is, but easily a couple £100 an hour because they're a professional and they're experienced. You're getting that for free. And our second guest speaker is also going to talk on another topic within, you know, deal sourcing and auctions and topics like that. So two epic guest speakers on top of your, if I say so myself, epic guest, not guests, epic speakers being me and James. You were going to learn so much from this weekend. So James, I think we'll leave this here. I think we've given everyone a nice insight into, you know, our deals, the kind of one of the deals they're going to see with us, and the absolute value that people are going to get. So if you're interested in joining us, you know, we'd love to have you. Spaces are limited, and we are selling them, you know, every day, every week. Please send us a DM, send us an email, use the link in the description below, use the link in the email, and we hope to see you soon. Thanks, everyone.
See you guys soon.